Hi to you all out there. My name is Christiado, the CEO for Power Source Systems, an ICT solutions provider in Accra, Ghana. I'm here to present to you our latest product, that is a Power Banker Mini version 2.0. This is a software which operates for micro banking institutions as well as savings and loans. We're going straight forward onto the software to share and then do a demo on how it operates, concentrating solely on the reporting formats as time would demand that we do only that. Thank you as we go ahead to do the sharing. On entering the system, you will get a welcome to the Web Power Mini Banker version 2.0. So you continue there. Now you are asked to enter your username and password. There are 5 models. The first model has to do with membership. The second model has to do with loans. The third model has to do with deposits. The fourth model has to do with accounting. The fifth model has to do with the administrators. And then for each model, you have to enter a username and a password. For starters, we're going to the membership model. For each model, we have what we call a chart of accounts. This shows, accountants are familiar with this, and this shows how accounts are created and stored within that table. Now, remember, is entered here and the details are placed here. You buy shares and then you can view the shares and then list the shares. As I stated, emphasis will be purely on the reporting format. Now you see the series number, the account number, the name, share values, quantities, value of quantity shares bought, value of shares. And if the profits are assigned, you can get the profit and get the total. Now we can also get a duration report from the 1st of April 20 to the 30th of June 20. This is purely like a quarter. This report is very important to the share owners of the business as well as the central bank. The central bank needs to see how shares are purchased. Equally, the owners of the company also needs to see the shares purchased over this given period and see this performance. It talks about the performance of the company as well, in terms of the shares they're able to get. If the shares are supposed to be the capital of the business and run the business. Now, we go to this other report, ledger. This is a report that is relevant to the member as well as the company. It shows how, in the ledger form, it shows how the shareholders, when they bought an arrangement of how the shares they put buying, how it goes, the credit of it, and probably the total too as well. Now, we come to this gender analysis of shares. This report is one of the requirements of the central bank. It's also important to the company because it shows the shares that have been purchased so far in terms of gender, in terms of males, in terms of females. This will enable the company concentrate more in areas on the kind of gender that they feel can encourage their purchasing of shares. Now we're going to the next model, that is the loans. For the loans, the set of account before releasing, we have amortization, we have forms after amortization. You can use the details to fill the form, then view the loans, and you can get a loans report. Like I want to see for this quarter. This report is very, very important to both the business owners and the central bank. Why? Because first, it shows a durational report which is required by the Bank of Ghana. They may like to know loans that have been issued by the central bank. They may like to know loans that have been issued over a certain period. The classification of loans. So we have classified into loans, micro loans, and the details of the loans. That's the account number, the person who is collecting the member who is collecting the loan, the dates, the principal, the interest, the month, the interest in value, this is the interest rate and the interest in value, the number of months you want to sell, the total amount that they expect as the principal plus the interest, the payment you have made, the outstanding amount, and the percentage fee. With this thing, you can get at a glance the picture of loans that are issued out to members. And the central bank needs this information to see if people are paying their loans and see how sustainable they are. Because this, for instance, will give you the rate of percentage at which they pay compared to the number of months that they are supposed to pay. And the months are, if they still have less months to go and be paying this, they know that it's not really, they are not really in good business. If on the other hand, if they have more less months and they have more months and they are paying good, it means that the business is sustainable because this, and then you have the totals and the classified and the classified, what do you call it, the grouping of the loans. The totals are there, and then the group and totals are also new. So this is a very, very important for both the business owners and the central bank. Now, we also have this report, which at a glance gives a very good picture about the loans, the units, people who are members who have the loans, the principal plus interest, the total amount paid, and exactly within which month the loans are paid and how the money. So that if you have this report, very useful for the business, very useful for the central bank because it shows that if as of August people are not paying, then you should begin to look for them and see how best you can get them to pay. You also have this, like all other models, you have the gender analysis where it shows the various the loans, those who have been issued with loans, those who are paying the amount and the value of the loans. This is also important to the central bank. You need this report to see the classification of loans in terms of the gender. It's also important to the business owner because they can now target and have an idea which gender takes more loans and what they are really to pay for. Now you have what we call the ledger. The ledger is, I would say, important to the person who is collected the customer who is collected the loan or the member who is collected the loan and the business and the business owners. Why? Because once you have this, it shows you the statement. It brings accountability and trust between the owners of the business and the customer, the management of business and the customer who is coming for the loan. Because it shows step by step how the one collected the loan and the payments is being made and the outstanding balance. Now, we have this report, very interesting report, which we call the debt aging report 1. There is another report 2. This shows just a straightforward way of showing the last payment, the date of the last payment, the number of days after. So that if you look at this, it shows that all these guys have not paid or serviced their loans for a very long time. And that means that it's about time management starts going on them to collect their monies. It's important for the organization and also important for the drug government. Why is it important for the central government? Trying to see if people can actually sustain their business. Because if people are not paying their bills, then the business can be sustained. We also have this other one, aging, that aging report 2 gives this pictorial also important for both the central bank for the reasons stated and also for the business. So it shows you the last time pictorial for the last time payments were made, and you can take action on this. Now from here we go to the next, which is the deposits. Deposits are always being used. Deposits are mainly done by members of the business, and that's what they use to sustain the business as well. It's also another kind of contribution for the business. So we have a chat account where we place people who are doing the members who are doing deposits in new deposits, and then when they make deposits, they are there, so we can easily get a list of depositors. These are the list of depositors, their name, their agenda, and their contact number. And here we come to additional reports of depositors. Let's say from April 20th, I just want to see a quarter. This is because most reports, like the central bank, they normally look for probably quarterly reports and other demands for them to see them. So within this period, you can see that these people have made payments and made deposits within this period, from the 1st of April to the 30th of April. Very important report demanded by both the central bank and the business. The business should know what is going on, and the central bank to also know how people are sustainable, how sustainable the business is. Now, we also have, as usual, we also have gender analysis for deposits required by the central bank. It's a central bank requirement, and it's also a business requirement, gives information. Now, you can pick somebody and say you want to see, you like to see his deposits from the first of the beginning of the year to now. When you have this, it's purely an issue of accountability between you and the customer. You have all records showing how much he's done and the total he's done so far from any given period. So it's purely between them. You can issue this statement to the person, to the customer. You can decide to even send emails if they need the facility, if you want that facility to be done. And once you have these things, I think again. Now, you have deposit analysis showing deposits that have been done over a period. In this case, you're not going to get these people to show the individual, but you're going to get them to show totals for each person over that period. And this is how this whole thing goes. From the 1st to the 8th of June. Now, from deposits, we move to accounting. Accounting, the chart of accounts standard, create your account, you view your accounts, you do your journal entries. After journal entries, you are here, you see your journals. This is the most important aspect of the business because everything boils down to money. So it shows your transaction date, your transaction number, the narration, which is very well appreciated by the accountants. The debit account number, which is in the chart of accounts, with the accounts also in the chart of accounts, then the debit amount for the transaction, then the credit account number in the chart of accounts, and the credit account in the chart of accounts, credit amount. This is the most important records for the business. It's from this that all financial records are derived. So the accountants is what they need this. This is the source of it. Once they have this accounting, which is the journals, They can always, as college are treated, they can always get their trial balance. Which is, but this trial balance is special trial balance, not the ordinary trial balance that's after the account number and the account. So you have only the credit. Here we go for it to go add the differences between the various accounts and it's run throughout. Once you get this, you are capable of doing anything in business, capable of doing any reporting format. And it's very, very good for the accountants and the finance. This is what they use to do all their financial statements. And once you have this, you see, you do a specific video on this alone when exported into Excel format. Now, when the trial balance will now come to the income statement, that's the profit and loss. Income statement, that's the period 12 of this. Revenue, share for the revenue, you had 8.5, then total revenue 8,500 is the same. Now for the expenses, this come in as an end activity side. So now we have two transactions, 450 and 2,500. The total expense is 2 So profit and loss we made a profit of 5,500. Now we go to the next click, which will show the sources of this revenue or that income. Sources of income. Here it is, the 8,500. It's a result of interest people paid on the loans. Here you are. Interest on the loans is the profit of the bank. Now we also have balance sheets. Balance sheet, once it balances, I mean that the business is for your accounting procedures are right. So the balance sheet that's at 12th of August 2020. Now, balance sheet, remember that assets are equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. That's owner's equity, that's capital. Now the sum of the assets here is equal to this sum of the liabilities and owner's equity. Looking at the accounting balances, this system is so solid. You hardly get you wouldn't really have problems with balance because everything is in it. Now we can also have what we call the opening chart of accounts, opening and closing balances, so that you can edit these figures at the end of the year or at the end of the year when businesses are over to adjust. Now, like I explained to you earlier, two of these reports, like the journals and the other, are exported into Excel. As I'm demonstrating, you wouldn't see, but I will see because it's not in the share. This is something that has just been generated in another format, in another application. The same with this is the trial balance I was talking about. That's a special feature which we'll do another video on. Very important because it shares, it gives you all, you can easily get all the reports you want when you have that thing. Now moving to the final thing, that is the administrator. For the administrator is just the chart of accounts, the users, who are the users of the system, their password, their various levels, which will indicate to the loan types that we have. We can add more loan type. Remember the loan in the micro, and then we have the lender. We have the journals in case they need to edit anything. We're going to edit it. Then the depositors, then the loans, then the shares, and then basically this is the end of the demo. Very brief demo. We want to make sure it's so light everybody can copy. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your cooperating with us. This is the end of the show. Very brief one. Very good. Thank you. Bye bye.